This time on Scott++, will I be able to add tags to the web app, or will it all collapse in a pile of spaghetti code? Let's find out. Okay, a lot going on with life. The tiger and I have hit the road to become vagabonds, living out of a suitcase in this beautiful hotel room. But that is not going to stop us from working on this web app and hopefully get something done. Okay, we're going to shake up the format a little bit. Instead of just writing some code and filming everything as I go, I've already done all the coding. So what we're going to do is break the video into two sections. So first, I'm going to show how the app has changed, what I've done to it in terms of just the features added, the before and after, if you will. And then in the second section, then we'll dive into all the code that helped make that happen. So if you're just here for the progress of the app and you want to see that, just watch this first section. And then once things start getting technical, feel free to bail. All right. So here we have the app as it was a couple weeks ago. And here, is the app now. What I've done is I've added the tagging feature. And for an app that I'm calling Tag Share, this is long overdue. Okay, so let's look at the changes. Here was the box for an item before. Basically, there's an edit button where you could change the comment and you could save or cancel that, and a separate delete button. So what I've done is I've refactored the box a bit. So there's one edit button that basically toggles the whole item into edit mode. So from here, I can change the comment. Let's just add a bunch of exclamations there. Then I also added this feature where we can add tags. So if I want to say just gibberish, then add a tag, and it shows up here in the line of tags. Then I can cancel that. Everything goes back the way it was. Or if I save it again, and just gibber. We don't have time for gibberish. It's just gibber. And then save that, and then there we go. That's applied. It does take a minute to go back to the server and come down, but we'll fix that. No worries. Now so we have tags going now on all the items in your collection. I added up here onto the top of the collection all the tags in the collection. So if I see here, I have heroics and I have 5. So I have 5 items that I've tagged with heroics and 3 with Ukraine. So if I click on Ukraine, that adds it here to the search. So it's kind of just a shortcut to search for things with that tag. And here you see all the items tagged with Ukraine appear. Now, this doesn't just search the tags. So if, for example, let's try something here. Let's find here Until Falls the Rain from the album. Okay, so if I add the tag album to this, which is nonsense because this is not an album, right? Now if I do search for album, you see it popped up there. I get both the item that was tagged with album, and then also anything else that matches album. Now, it's not entirely stupid. It does give priority to items that were tagged with a specific term, right? So this one, which actually has the tag of album, is higher in priority than something where album just appears somewhere in the summary. So that I think is pretty cool. As usual, you can search for multiple terms. Here's album and politics. So this one really pops up because it hits both, and then I can change the priority of these. So if I set album to 1,000 or whatever, close enough, then the other items that have album come before the other items with politics. That was kind of working before. I just used the tagging system to plug in to that sorting system. So that's kind of it. I can show off that you can remove tags as well, and then I can cancel that or actually save it to remove the gibberish tag, or the gibber. Oh, I still have 2 that are tagged with the full gibberish. So now we can really call this app tag share instead of like tag share, tags coming soon. So that's pretty cool. Those were the features. We added tagging. Now we're going to dive into some of the tech to explain how that works. Without further ado, for the tech, I'm going to try to walk from the smallest piece and then going up. So if we look at an individual tag, in this case, so it's a separate React component, and it takes 3 inputs. So it has the text, obviously, so gibberish in this case. It also has a function that you can pass in to modify the display text. As you'll see, sometimes the tag just says the tag, right? So this is gibberish or just menu. But sometimes there's some modifications based on where I'm using this tag. So if I edit this, you'll see here I stick an X at the beginning just to denote that that's going to delete the thing. Or over here, I also append the term with the count. So that is a custom function that you can pass in to the tag component itself. Then there is the handler, which is basically a function that says, what do you want to do when this tag is clicked? So that's the small tag component. You're just passing in some text, passing in a function to modify the text from the initial term, and then passing in a function to handle the tag being clicked. Now that function takes back the term, so you know kind of which tag to act on, and that's why the display text is different than the term text, because what comes back to the handler is the specific term text, not the display text. All right, I hope there's someone still with me. Now taking it up a level to the tag section, this is basically just a line of tags. It takes in basically the exact same stuff. It just, instead of taking a single tag, it takes an array of terms. And then for each one of those terms, it creates an individual tag component. So going up one more step to the item box here. So here I did mention that I now have an editing mode and a non-editing mode. There are different ways to handle this, right? So theoretically, for each of the components inside this item box, I could have had a separate thing for whether you're editing or not. In this case, I felt it was cleaner to just have 2 totally separate sections. So here, if you're not editing, it renders out this, and then later down here, if you are editing, it renders out this. So it's a little bit of like copy paste, and if I do add another component into this box, I would need to add it twice. But since the sections are kind of so different, and some of them, you know, when you edit, nothing changes, and some just the way that they do change when you edit is so different, I felt it made the most sense to go that way. So in the non-editing mode, we just display a tag section, which is again just a list of the tags. The list of tags come from obviously the item data from the server, and then the handler in this case is just passed down from the whole page, because when you click on it, that has effects like elsewhere, not just in this little box. For the editing mode, we again have the tag section, and you see here my little modify the text where I'm just adding an X before the text. And then on clicked here, for the handler, instead of passing in the function for the page as a whole, when you're in edit mode, it uses this special function where basically we're just updating the current tags for the item box. So this box actually has a few different pieces of state. The main state is the item data that comes from the server, but then there is also some sets of React hook state. This text here is actually a React hook. Now when the box is first initiated, it copies this text, but then I can change the text, right? Then when I cancel, if I cancel, it just resets that state to the item state. The item state doesn't change. It's just the hook state for this box component. And then it's the same way for doing the tags. Just to show that here, each box has a few pieces of React hook state. whether or not you're editing the comment text. So again, that instantiates as the item comment, but then as you change it or maybe save it or cancel, we'll change it or reset it. Same with the new tag text. That is just this text box here. And then when you save, we go ahead and add the tag. So this is actually in two places, right? So if I do like ASDF, add the tag. So now I've added a tag, and this is just to the box's kind of copy of the tags. Because again, if I cancel, it just resets to the data from the server. Okay, going up then one more level to the whole page. Here we have a process tag counts function. Instead of adding this data on the server of how many tags for the item, since we're grabbing all the items anyway, I'm just processing this on the client side and adding that there. And then anytime we're saving an update, we reprocess that. So then this file is a mess. This file is in such need of refactoring. So then here we are rendering out this tag section. So I just contain that in a function here that builds out the mapping. This was a little messy because in the modify text, it's different for each tag, right? So effectively, I'm building out an array that has a map rather from the tag text to the count. So then inside the modify text function, which I'm defining here, it basically looks up the count using the tag and then appends that to the display text. For the on tag clicked, which is this handle tag click function, and this is also passed down into the individual item components so they can use that same function. If I click on the new tag here, okay, it looks like this UA Guardians has it. It's the same as clicking on it here, right? And so you see it added that to the search terms. So here, basically it's just updating the search state, right? So it's the same thing in the search box. There's a central search state that is, again, some React hook state for the page. That is passed down to the search bar, so when I can just do whatever I want here, but then that is also used with this tag handler, right? So that's basically it. Adding this was pretty smooth. I think I'm getting the hang of when a component maybe needs to define its own state and handle that in the example of this box in the edit state, right? And when its parent should be passing down methods or data that it will then manipulate, right? So that's the tech stuff and thus the end of the video. Please do let me know how you liked this new format. And also, especially for those of you who stuck around for looking at the code, let me know how you like that. Should I go deeper into explaining things? Kind of just assuming that everyone who is watching this is able to basically follow what's going on. If you think I should go deeper or stay more shallow, let me know. Doing this so it can be hopefully helpful to you. Thank you again for watching. Thanks for sticking with me as we figure this all out. Until next time, stay awesome and watch out for tigers. Oh, okay.